Old hat is an informal English expression used to describe something that is outdated, no longer interesting, or overly familiar because it has been repeated too often. When people refer to an idea, style, or activity as old hat, they usually mean that it feels stale or lacks excitement. The phrase often carries a slightly negative tone, suggesting that something once popular or useful has lost its originality or relevance over time. The origin of the expression is believed to come from the literal idea of a worn or outdated hat. In earlier times, hats were important fashion items that reflected a person's style and social status. Wearing an old or worn-out hat might have signaled that the person was behind the latest trends. Over time, the phrase developed a figurative meaning, extending beyond clothing to describe anything that seems outdated or overly familiar. In everyday conversation, people often use the phrase to comment on repeated jokes, predictable stories, or overused ideas. For example, if someone tells the same story many times, listeners might consider it old hat because they have heard it before. Similarly, movies, books, or entertainment concepts may be labeled old hat if they rely on predictable themes that audiences have seen repeatedly. The expression reflects society's natural desire for freshness and innovation. In professional or business environments, the phrase can describe outdated methods, technologies, or strategies. Companies that continue using inefficient systems may be criticized for relying on old hat practices. Employees who resist change may also be associated with this expression. In such settings, the phrase highlights the importance of adaptability and continuous improvement. Organizations that fail to update their approaches risk losing competitiveness and relevance. However, the phrase does not always carry entirely negative meaning. Sometimes, calling something old hat can simply indicate that it is well understood or familiar. For example, a skilled professional might describe certain tasks as old hat because they can perform them easily without much effort. In this context, the phrase reflects experience and mastery, rather than boredom or irrelevance. The expression also reveals how human perception changes over time. What once seemed exciting or innovative can eventually become ordinary. Cultural trends, technology, and social expectations evolve quickly, causing people to lose interest in ideas that were once popular. The phrase captures this natural cycle of novelty and familiarity, reminding people that change is constant in both personal and social life. In conclusion, old hat is an expression that describes something outdated, overly familiar, or no longer exciting. It reflects the human tendency to seek new experiences while gradually losing interest in repeated or predictable ideas. The phrase originated from fashion, but expanded into broader cultural and professional contexts. It highlights the importance of adaptability and creativity in maintaining relevance. At the same time, it can also suggest expertise and comfort with familiar tasks. The expression reminds individuals and organizations that while experience is valuable, innovation remains essential. Ultimately, old hat captures the balance between tradition and progress in everyday life.